President Trump is going to win the Nobel Peace Prize,
Really?
no doubt. You look at what he's done with the Congo and Rwanda. You look at where he is with Pakistan and India and what he's done there, and then you look at this.
Well, I think it's funny that President Trump would even be considered for the Nobel Peace Prize, because President Trump has proven that he's more interested in being a wartime president versus being a peaceful president. There's only 4 presidents in U.S. history that have received the Nobel Peace Prize. The first being Theodore Roosevelt in 1906. The second, Woodrow Wilson in 1919. The third one, Jimmy Carter in 2002. And then Barack Obama in 2009, I believe it was. Well, President Trump has proven the opposite. The example that's easy, which is recent, is that he did a preemptive attack on Iran, another country. That's not being a peaceful president. Just because you have Iran and Israel fighting, because of course Israel did their preemptive attack, if you want peace, you step in there to talk with them and to mediate so that they don't have a war any longer. But that's not what happened. Then going forward with that, President Trump had the ability to say, we're going to sit down together and we're going to offer our alternatives. And here's the reason why. We're not comfortable with you, Iran, having a nuclear weapon. Now, when I say Iran, I don't mean the people, I just mean the overall leadership. But President Trump didn't do that. He was more interested in showing that he had power. So he wanted to express his military might and power. Well, once you do that, you lose the credibility of peace first, peace over war. There's a lot that's going on in the... Oh, wait, let me use you another example. Tariffs. President Trump was more interested in a tariff war with China. He specifically targeted them the hardest. A fellow nuclear power. These weren't like, hey, well, we're going to have the tariff, please understand, here's why, and then talk it out. It was, they've done this wrong, we're going to do them wrong, we're going to do them worse. They weren't friendly tariffs. And it was always negativity talked about China. So the tariff war, it wasn't about building a positive relationship. Then continuing on to the next part of tariffs, the European Union. There was countries throughout Europe. And what happened? They're like, wait a minute. They came to realize we need to be ready, because if the United States ever does this again, or we don't know how long this is going to last currently, we need to prepare to operate outside of the United States investment. And so now what they've done is they've been developing safeguards. So if President Trump just decides, I don't like a certain country, or I want to attack China again with tariffs, he wants to take credit that he's solving a problem. You're the problem, President Trump, because you're the one who's creating the problems. Just those examples alone, the tariffs, picking on China, preemptive strike on Iran, go to prove that President Trump is not a Nobel Peace Prize worthy individual.